Hey, go and get it down. Go and get it down right about now.
What is up, shakers and groovers? Shit Show Disco here, and today I am in the studio for the last episode of season 3 with Chris Lamaro. How are you, my dude?
I'm good. How are you?
So good, dude. Now, you may know Chris from many different identities. AA, Diskodisco,
AAA,
sorry,
Disco.
AAA,
Yeah.
all access areas.
Yeah, maybe in that order. I don't know how it'll come out. Yeah, AAA Backstage, and then that's owned by the company that I part own with someone else called Good Friends Proprietary Limited.
Yeah. Mate, you got to have that PTYLTD.
You got to have it, yeah.
Saves your ass.
Yeah. And there's so many people involved, it becomes a proprietary. Yeah.
Now, thank you very much for jumping on the show today.
Yeah, no worries.
I actually planned on getting us some Christmas hats,
Oh.
but sadly I forgot.
And it's too hot for that anyway.
Yeah, it's too hot. So it is, it is about 2-3 days out from Christmas. So first off, guys, thanks for tuning in. Merry Christmas. Now, for those out there that don't know you and what you do, could you kind of run over that and give them a little brief?
Yeah, sure. Okay. I guess I've worked in the music industry a long time, or I've been a part of it for a long time. Not just locally around Southeast Queensland, but nationally. But yeah, right now the operation stands as I'm a DJ producer with one hat, and I'm a content creator with another hat, an artist manager with another hat, and then we're just a collective creators. But the company Good Friends is a PR, content creation, booking agency, artist management, which owns AAA Backstage, which is one of Australia's most read and loved music news.
Blog / info websites.
A media company we're registered as.
No, that's sick, man. So obviously music's been a massive part of your life and your career.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And how's this year gone for you? Obviously not to plan.
No, it's been so tough. We adjusted and did things that kept us rolling. So picked up a couple of international systems where we could create content and receive money from the international market. Which kept AAA Backstage afloat and just kept us afloat. Because gigs and the artists that we manage aren't doing anything. So, that was pretty tough. So it's been interesting. Interesting. I had to learn how to write myself. I wrote a lot of articles where we would have other people writing, but I had to write them. But it was pretty good. We still had our interns in, writing, still be able to give them jobs and work, which was good.
It's a lot of pivoting.
That's the way to look at it. Yeah, that's exactly right. We lost a lot of money in revenue through, we do monthly shows. We used to do monthly shows at venues around the Gold Coast.
And obviously, guys, that's where the money's made. It's not streams. It's not, shows
is where it is at. You make an increment of income through streams, but you're working towards all these shows. And like yourself, so many friends I know that were meant to be overseas or on national tours and doing this and doing that, and then they just released their album, and it's, what do we do now?
Because usually it's a national tour with the album.
Exactly, or just gig, or just something to talk about. So it's been a really bizarre year, but we've come through, and there's a bit of light now at the end of the tunnel.
Slowly,
2021's looking good, but then obviously what's happening in Sydney is I don't know, it's weird.
I haven't seen the reports this morning, but I was speaking to my sister from there, and she said there might be a few cut in the cases, but who knows? It is what it is. Now, I am wearing my shittest shirt today from Clarity. This was a Christmas present, so thanks, Clarity. I just thought I'd update that and cut in. She just signed to our catch, so shout out to her. That's sick on her behalf. Now, today, are we going to be talking to Diskodisco? Are we going to be talking to event manager, blog creator, content creator, or are we just going to have the whole Chris Lamaro package?
Let's just do the whole.
Lovely, I want the whole package. Now, music's been around your whole life, pretty much.
Yeah.
What how old were you when you first kind of started, really enjoying music?
I think when I first started enjoying, like it was always there in our household. We always did from a young age, like from what I can remember, 3, 4, 5 years old. We did the, weekend mornings in the family room with Rage on, or Dad would have records on, But when I started to really get interested in music, I was probably 9 or 10 when I really started to step out and enjoy what I wanted to enjoy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Not what my sisters enjoyed or what my parents enjoyed, But early memories of being little was ELO, David Bowie.
Yeah.
That type of
Yeah, all the stuff your parents were putting on. And
my early vibes was I guess grunge was really big when I was around that sort of 10 to 12 years old. So it was all your Nirvanas and Pearl Jams, and that shifted into alt rock Stone Temple Pilots and those types of vibes.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that's sort of where it kicked off for me, and then evolved into, as I went into high school, that I sort of wanted to be a part of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't want to just sort of be a fan. So I guess because I was into grunge so much, I wanted to play guitar.
Yeah.
And then I really liked Dave Grohl as a drummer. So I was like, I want to be a drummer now.
Yeah.
And then,
and then he pivoted.
Yeah. And then, exactly. And then I pivoted. And I ended up playing drums in hip-hop bands and new metal bands.
Sick.
Yeah. So that was totally not my thing. And then, discovering dance music was just a whole nother
it was a whole other thing for me as well.
You just oh, this is sick. You guys are just having fun and everyone is here in harmony. Yeah. It's not like there's the metal guys over there, the grunge guys over there, the indie guys over there, the UK pop rock guys over
definitely.
there. It's dance music was just everyone was involved and you had to love it.
Yeah, definitely. I think artists like Steve Aoki, with his labels, did a lot for that, with the whole punk into dance scene.
Yeah, definitely. The chaos meets the cool, And I think that's the vibe that I had from a young age, because I was into that sort of harder rock, or just not even harder rock, but that
the culture
of it. Yeah. And that took me into, when I did get into sort of more of the electronic side of things, I did enjoy that chaotic vibe, so I could go as far to listen to, someone like, I guess, the Bloody Beetroots, and then I'd still listen to someone like Aeroplane or The Magician, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's sick. Now, DJ wise, how long do you reckon you've been playing for?
Performing as a DJ?
Yeah.
Since the early mid 2000s,
Yeah,
I guess.
Sick.
In my current format, maybe 10 years. Yeah. And the last 2 years, I've had a break. I took a break from that type of thing.
You've been doing a lot of other things.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Have been worn,
all the other hats came on, and I focused my energy on more of business, music business, and developing other artists and helping other artists and learning that side of things. I don't really know anything about it. We're always learning,
Yeah.
So there was some time off, and now I'm getting back into developing that, because it's sort of, I'm getting, to that age where I'm no, I'm just going to do it for me now.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, you can only spend so long getting other people to that level.
Yeah.
When you, in yourself, you're kind of...
Yeah. Damn, I want to do that too.
I want this too.
Yeah.
Now, the name Diskodisco.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with that?
It was a handle that I used on the internet for years.
Spelt with a K, guys.
Yeah, Disko, Disco. I've been called all sorts of things like Dasco, Dosco.
Oh, Dasco is pretty cool.
Yeah, they were all inebriated versions of that. It would be at kick-ons or something. You'd be oh, it's Dosco.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. It's just an internet handle that I used for ages, and then so it was just always put on bill posters when I'd be DJing or whatever. And then the last 4 or 5 years ago, I was releasing original records with more of an electronic 80s type of a vibe. And then
more like pop synth stuff, or
synth wave.
Yeah, synth
wave. And then sort of shifted away from that. That scene sort of died in it. It was very internet based. And it sort of died off, and then I haven't done it yet. That's like I said, the original content has stopped for a couple of years, and so did the DJ sets. And then, like, I got invited personally to play at special events and stuff like that. And only then this year was going to be the relaunch of everything. And
which it slightly has. Like, you've picked up gigs at Elsewhere and stuff like that.
Yeah. I've always been a friend of Elsewhere. I've played there for 11 years.
Yeah.
And then this year it was kind of like, they're like good friends of mine. So they were like, we want you to, because I've thrown parties there for a long time.
Yeah.
And then they invited me back in, and then next year is, it's looking good for next year.
Very nice.
Some good stuff happening next year, which is very exciting.
Yeah, sick.
That's for the disco side of things.
Now, talking about the disco side of things, what's your genre? What do you play? It's kind of an open bag?
It can be. I play to vibe, as you probably do as 100%. Well. But mainly if I'm getting booked for me, which is what I guess I do. That's what I get booked to do. My sound is just all around indie dance, very Italo disco, synthy type stuff. Very poolside. The mixtape series that I've started as I've designed around what I call seaside listening as we go from day to night.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. So.
That's a nice, I love that time period too.
Yeah.
That's such a naughty little...
Yeah.
Just as the sun starts setting, everyone starts getting that itch.
Exactly, and everyone gets cooler, and everyone's geting more of a vibe, everyone's getting a little bit more,
more of a vibe.
Yeah, more fun. And then also it means... my vibe is done by 10 p.m. I'm at home and in bed by midnight.
Or at kick-ons.
Yeah, or come back to my place.
Yeah, I think that's honestly one thing I've noticed lately. Like, I used to play some club sets last year, and this year all my sets have kind of been yacht club or finishing at 12. And I'm like, there's all this time. I can go out and do things now.
I don't have to stay straight until 3 a.m.
Yes, that's the real...
For years, I played in a techno outfit, and we were just always booked to play at 1:30 to 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And it was, man, I can tell you some horror stories of, literally at Elsewhere, like where we were just talking about, and me not pushing that cue button, pushing that play button, and we were on fader number 1. I didn't realize that it was my track playing, and I'm part of a duo. There's another dude standing next to me, and we looked at each other like... Whole club silent, 250 kids, like, what the fuck? And I'm like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then we just quickly wind it up, and there's, the music director's in the corner looking at us. And it's because we're not playing till 2 a.m. We've had 50 million drinks and whatever else.
I've noticed it's very hard because it's like you still have to provide the party and bring the energy and bring the party, but you can't party. People think that all the time.
Yeah.
But I know some people can get away with it, but...
Yeah, I think when you're younger, you get away with it.
But also, you always get caught out. I feel like
always
something will happen just like that. Or I can tell you, I've probably done the same thing.
Yeah.
Or a channel will be up and you'll be chesting your cue. You'll be like, wait a sec.
Yeah, hang on. What's happening?
Where's that kick?
Yeah. What am I doing?
Now, how old were you when you first kind of remember hearing music?
Yeah, that sort of 3 to 4, 5, maybe not that early, maybe 4 or 5, I guess. Definitely around that age, and that was when I started to notice it as, from what I remember, I've older sisters that are were culturally cool.
Yeah.
They were into cool things.
Yeah.
So that I would just want to be like them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all I wanted to do was be like whatever they were into, I was into.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that one was cooler than the other, but it was sort of like a little bit like that.
He's joking.
I'm joking. Definitely joking. No, they just had their both different interests in terms of, but it collectively came together.
Well, I think as well back then, like even for me, that's where you get your music from.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't streaming, you couldn't just
Yeah.
Pop it on and go random and find your own stuff.
No, that's right. It's not as accessible as what it is now.
Yeah.
You know, definitely. You know, and back in the era of, you know, cassette mixtapes. And then school-wise, you know, you'd swap your cassettes around. You'd have your mixtapes, you know what I mean? And then...
shock-free Walkman.
Yeah. The yellow one, the sports one.
Yeah, the sports one.
Yeah. They were
no one look up when they were made.
Yeah. Don't. I mean, you can. I got mine when it was a hand-me-down. It was 10 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, obviously growing up, you said, you listen to a lot of like the stuff your parents would put on, which I think is pretty common for everyone. Then you got your sisters. Now, were they the ones that bought you kind of your first music? Your records, your cassettes? Do you remember what that was?
My mum, my first, like my first schlocky one.
Yeah.
It was like my 6th birthday or 6th Christmas maybe. Yeah. And I remember my sisters got me, I think it was a 7-inch single of Unskinny Bop by Poison.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was bad. But the first cool one I got was, like going back to what I was talking about before, that grunge movement. My mum got me Nevermind on CD for my 10th or 12th birthday. I don't know, around that time.
Yeah.
And I've still got it. Still own it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So many times because, when you move houses or
you chuck
clean out.
Go through your university years or your high school years and, lent it to someone.
Yeah. Oh, mate, there's so many of those CDs for me that I've just kind of... I'll have a weird CD. I'll be like, I never bought this. And it's one I've swapped.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll be like, but man, I swear mine was better.
Yeah, back when you'd listen to CDs at house parties.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, this is your CD collection.
Yeah. Or DJ'd with them.
Yeah.
For anyone out there that doesn't...
Yeah. I used to
Same, mate.
Yeah, my route, purchase CDs.
Yeah.
Would be like, I'll chuck this in.
Yeah.
Never did you think, I should just burn this.
Yeah. Actually, one thing, DJing off CDs, which I can relate to about, do you find that when you used to play off a CD wallet, you'd kind of chuck a CD and then you'd be like, oh, that's right. This one goes into that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. I even would curate my wallet or folder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've always had the folders set up in BPMs and time slots. But definitely, you'd be like, oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
Yeah.
It was in... there it is.
There it is, yeah. Because I found mine the other day and mine was in alphabetical order and I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a different
How you would catalogue your music.
Yeah.
But I've still got the old UDG big one. I think it fit 128 CDs, but there was nearly 200 in that thing.
Yeah, doubles.
Double jam in, yeah.
I still remember I'd buy some Ministry CDs and some of the songs would mix in and out, or that overlap.
They're mixed, yeah.
And I'll be like, I'd have to mix it out before.
Damn it.
Should
have bought the club edit of this.
Yeah. I think, but the reason I brought that up is I find that when I'm DJing on USB sometimes, I don't feel the same.
No, that culture's definitely changed.
Yeah.
And it still goes back to when you are creating those folders in, say, Record Box or whatever, that it's important to set those things up.
Yeah.
Particularly if you're going to be playing to vibe. I mean, that's just how I like to do
100%.
things. Yeah. If you're going to be playing to vibe where you're like, oh, things are getting a bit hot on the floor.
Yeah.
Not that they have for a year or so, but you can go next folder. Yeah. It's going to be just 10 BPM quicker or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely it's obviously it's totally different, but talking about Record Box and stuff like that, it is just so convenient.
It's so much better, man.
Yeah. It's a whole new world.
I remember you always had those guys that just took a little bit longer to come over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I have one mate. He's like, oh, I don't know. I just can't get my head around it. So I just still burn CDs.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, that metadata doesn't go through quick enough and you can't see your waveform. You've got 30 seconds to get a track together.
Remember that when it'd be reading?
Yeah.
It's just reading. And
it'd just slowly...
Yeah. And then sometimes you'd hear the...
Yeah.
It's the CD.
Pull it out.
Yeah. While this is counting down.
Yeah. Damn it.
Oh, man, that was the best.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you said you've kind of only just got back into DJing recently, but you've played plenty of shows previously. Do you have any shows that stick with you? Is just let's go with ones you've played and ones you've thrown.
Ones I've played. I played a really sick party. Probably one of the best parties I've ever played. I played at a club night in Melbourne called Laser Highway.
Ooh.
It was,
what club was that at?
I can't remember the name of the venue.
Yeah.
But it was run by this dude, Chris. I can't remember his surname. Sorry, Chris.
Chris Lamaro?
No. And he just has this culture down there. He hosts a radio show on one of the big radio stations in Victoria. And he just had this cultural following, man. So I remember getting there. We've loaded in a manager at the time and an artist that was performing on the same bill, and we got there. We were like, this is cool. This venue's cool. All right. There wasn't many people in. Met the promoters and they're like, yep, here's your drink tickets, all that stuff. And like, we're going to pop off. We're in Melbourne. We're going to go get dinner. Then we'll come back, We got back at like 10:30 and the place was just a total vibe. Yeah. And this Chris dude popped out and he's like, welcome to Laser Highway. And we were like, and he was sweaty. And we were like, this is sick. And he's like, you're on at 1 a.m. Brett, you're on at 3 a.m. And we were like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, that's right. We're in Melbourne.
We could do that.
Yeah.
And then, just 250 people that are really interested in raving.
Yeah.
That was one of the better ones that I performed at. When I was in that techno outfit, we were called Club Night.
Yeah.
One of the bigger parties we played to like 1,000 kids at a nightclub. On the sunny coast, it was like one of those big bars, like big 3-story venues. That just had this,
or something like that?
Nah, it was I'm gonna say Fridays, something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that wasn't its name in the end, but I believe that was the venue name prior to that. But there's hundreds, like hundreds of kids in there, and that was just their nightclub on a Saturday night.
Yeah,
we just got the main slot.
Yeah,
and it was just wild seeing a sea of heads.
Yeah,
they were just bashing out like heavy duty music to these kids, and they were just loving it.
Yeah, just in the moment.
Yeah, so I guess for performance wise, they're good standouts. They're the parties that I remember. There's a few more, but in terms of gigs that we've thrown, there's some mega ones. I think one of the first ones we threw with Jaria from Rabbit Radio, or Tiny Minds, she calls herself now. We threw a party with her, like a collective event, at the Old Sharky. Bless.
Rest in peace,
never
Shark
forget.
never forget.
Yeah. And we had a band that we looked after. Yeah. That we did publicity for, called Borneo. Yeah. And they played on the Gold Coast a few times. Not many people knew about them. They just didn't know what to expect. Yeah. And these guys just ride the party wave. So they just come on stage in like dressing gowns. They're just wild, and they end up in their undies by the end of the show. And I just remember people saying to us, like, while they were playing, like, this is fucking so sick. Yeah. This is amazing. Like, I know it's crazy. Yeah. Right? Like, and that party just went on and on and on, like, all night. They ended up back at our house, and we just ended up running up and down the Gold Coast Highway at sunrise, like doing dumb.
Just almost famous shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like, it's all good. This band who played a show last night, Yeah. Those days for the good friends parties, the Sharky parties were the winners. Yeah. Definitely the winners. There was not a bad uneventful one. There was some slow ones. Yeah. But
that's every. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's seasonal.
Yeah. There was never uneventful ones. I remember one time we had Nocturnal Tapes on as the headliner. And it was raining, and there was a big blackout at Nobby's shops. Yeah. So there was just this crew of people that just like came up and over the hill. Yeah. The Sharky was the closest thing with power. Yeah. So they've all come storming in, and we're like, this is great. As a promoter's point of view, like, this is awesome. Yeah. Just get in, pay the money to get in. Excellent. The band's got their ticket money,
Did Hot Coffee or someone like that undercut was this?
Yeah,
recently?
Hot Coffee would have played. Yeah.
I think I was there.
Yeah,
lit.
yeah. Sick. Maybe that was. I remember talking to you one night at a couple of our gigs.
Because I'm pretty sure that I remember that happening. Yeah. Because my mate worked at Byron, and he's like, all the food's off.
Yeah. That was what was amazing, and I just never forget. We used to have our girlfriends or ex-partners or whoever was hanging around at the time would always work the door, you know. Yeah. And I remember I was just filthy because I was stuck on the door. Everyone's in the toilet or, at the bar or in the green room, and I'm like, can someone come back? Yeah. And I just remember this chick coming upstairs, and she's like, how are you going? And I was like, oh, great. And I was like, it's $10 tonight. And she's like, who's playing? And rattled off the names, and then she's like, well, I've got 30 people downstairs, and we're here for I think it was a hen's night. Yeah. Some type of celebration. And I was like, look, just, I'll do you a deal.
Yeah.
Just come get them all up here.
Yeah.
And they were all so full of energy. They just ran straight to the front of the, like, the rail.
Yeah.
And they just filled the place out.
As their shoes got...
Yeah, stuck and, Remember one time at the Sharky, we threw a big party. Dune Rats were doing a DJ set. And us with the co-promoter at the time thought it'd be a great idea to get a local burger joint to deliver burgers at midnight. Because we'd seen it happen in like these club nights in New York and LA where donuts turn up and stuff like that. Pizzas. So we're like, we can pull that off.
Yeah.
So we got this burger joint to sponsor the night.
Yeah.
All these burgers have rocked up. Like, man, 100 odd burgers have rocked up. And Dune Rats were the wrong bands to have on.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because they were just like, burgers are here, food fight. And it was disgusting. We went in for the cleanup the next day and it was just, it was horrid.
Yeah, and I'm sure they loved you, Shark.
Yeah. They loved us for that. It was half that. We had to ask their permission to do it. But it was pretty funny, man. Like, just remember a mate of mine was a vegetarian and it had been a long day for him. It had been a real long day and he was just so hungry. I remember him just biting into this burger. Yeah. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't care. I'm that fucking hungry, And then he just had 2 bites and chucked it.
Oh, he's like, he actually started the food fight.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that sounds sick. It definitely sounds like you've had some good times.
They were good days, yeah. Good days.
Oh, the good days.
Yeah, they were the glory days.
Now, what about other artists or shows you've been to as a punter? Festivals and stuff. Are there any?
Yeah. There's lots. Yeah. I think standout wise, there's all the Splendors in the Grasses.
Yeah.
That I've been to over the years. I used to go as like a punter, and then we've since we've had the business, we get invited to go along, and then you get your gold bands and your AAA passes and whatever else. But I remember like Ballpark Music covering one year. We were all on the hill and we were all inebriated, drunk, and Ballpark Music did a cover of Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah. And then for the rest, that was on the Friday afternoon. Yeah. And so for the rest of the weekend, we were just all singing, and talking about it. Sunday afternoon, you'd run into someone, you'd be like, oh, were you here Friday? Yeah. You see Ballpark cover Bohemian Rhapsody? You're like, oh, yeah, how sick was that?
That was the moment.
Yeah. We just chatting, and they had a gong at the end. It was such a vibe. Another time, I guess, at Splendor I was walking with someone at the time and we were running to be with our friends. It was on the Sunday night, so it was about to finish, and we were running past and Jake Bugg was playing in one of the smaller tents, and he's just started playing his big single 2 Fingers. Yeah. So we ran in and we were totally vibing off it, and then we were telling everyone it was so sick, just as it worked out so well, we just walked in and he started playing it.
I always think that, just along that, I think that one thing that hasn't been done right in Australia is a TV show or a movie about music festivals.
All
the stories that could be intertwined and things that happen. It could be such
it'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll definitely happen.
It's fucking copyrighted.
Yeah. We just did. Yeah. That could be seen as copyright.
Yeah, exactly.
I think so.
I think
that's how it works.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Because we spoke about it once.
Yeah.
On a recorded environment.
PTY Now, are there any other big ones? Any other artists that really stick with you you've seen, or?
Lots. I guess, the iconic ones that you look up to. I saw Chemical Brothers last year. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen. And then right through, one of my favorite bands in history is LCD Sound System.
That was sick at Splendor.
That was amazing. Yeah, that was great. That was the big return. Yeah. And I saw them a couple of times at the big day out before that. Just always memorable. Yeah. Just always magic. Yeah. Where they set up this stage and they're just cool and they drink red wine and I wish I could be a party rocker but still an adult and drink red wine on that'd be definitely that. In terms of just classic stuff.
Memorable moments.
Yeah, memorable moments. Always had that sing along with Gang of Youths on the hill at Splendor and stuff like that. There's just so many, man. They just they're all up
they're
there,
all up there.
Yeah.
Now, talking about moments and songs, and are there any that really kind of get you in the feels, mate, that you put on that, you know, you listen to and you're just like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few.
New York, I Love You.
Yeah.
By LCD Sound System. That's one that, you know, that goes on at 4 a.m. when you just get home or something and you're like, oh, I'm just here by myself.
Yeah.
Or, you know. Have you heard that song Emily White by the DMAs?
No.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Yeah, start to finish.
It's beautiful, and it's like tells the story of like a breakup of some description, not necessarily with a person, but maybe with something. And it's the end, you know.
Yeah.
It's really full on. Yeah. Give that a listen.
Give that a listen.
Yeah.
When I come, not when I come home alone.
No, don't. Definitely not. If you're going through a breakup, don't associate with it at all.
Leave it. Not help.
Yeah, leave it. And when you're at a good moment in your life, it sort of reflects, some interesting times for myself. But yeah, that track,
Yeah, nice, man.
It's kind of gross to think about, but you know, it's
I
there.
get you, bro. Everyone's got those songs, or even like the songs you're really enjoying during the great times.
Yeah, and then you can't enjoy it anymore. You're like, that's done.
Yeah. There's this dance track by Colour Castle that I was just loving. Talk to Me, and the whole thing I was just vibing. I'd play it everywhere, and then I'd just be like,
we don't talk about
that. Every time we're gonna play it in a set, I'm like, it's gonna bring my mood down.
No.
Now, what about songs you're listening to at the moment? What's on?
So I've just started a new mixtape series. We're up to disco tape number 3 now.
On Mixcloud?
It's on SoundCloud. And YouTube and all of the bits. But yeah, a couple of tracks. There's quite a few. One I'm really digging at the moment is Purple Disco Machine with Mind Enterprises. Called Exotica. It's a dance jam. Like it's a sick dance jam. I'll show you it. You'll be playing it in your DJ
I bet I will be. Is that the one with the female vocal?
Nah, it's got like this vocoder robot-y type vibe on it. Who Made Who just released a new record like a month ago. Been absolutely hammering that. It probably has more streams than any of the artists that I look after. There's a record on that album called Hamstring. And it's a real simple track, but it's really likable. Like, it doesn't matter what you could show that to your mates who are into hardcore hip hop. You know, it's one of those tracks that it's everyone likes. And it's just smooth and vibing, and you know, I don't know if you know, like if you know Who Made Who, but they've always had that vibe of just making really lovely dance electronica. So they can go in any direction. You know what I mean?
Like just music, good music.
Good music, Obviously, they're very synth based or very dancey beat based, but this album that they just released, there's not one track on there that doesn't collaborate with someone else, which is rad. In terms of locally, there's this young dude out of Brisbane at the moment called Sam. SAMM. That dude's just caught me, like, really dig his vibe. He's got a single called Faye that I've really dug. Like, I guess when I'm receiving press or music, you don't get to listen to all of them. He was lucky enough to get listened to. And then so we did an article about it. He got like some good press through us, and it's just one of those ones I just put on every time I get in the car. You know? Like,
you just have a good listen.
It's he's rad. He's such a rad young dude. And he's really cool. He's very, very indie rock type of a vibe, and he breathes that. Visually, you look at him. He's got the long hair. And, all his film clips are shot on like, some medium format film, so it's all flickery. And, he's really cool. Dude.
Sick. Now, talking about, like you said, listening to it in the car. If we were to go out to your car right now. Plug in your iPhone, turn your car on. What's coming on?
So I was listening on the way over here. I was listening to the Barney Cools, the Culture t-shirt brand. They throughout lockdown they had the
mixtape series.
They had that mixtape series, Cabin Fever mixtape series. The one I really vibed with, and I was listening to it on the way over here, was the one that Nicky Nighttime did.
Oh,
yeah, yeah. Just a total lord when it comes to selection, you know.
So that's Van Shee Tech original.
Yeah. One of the original songwriter.
Yeah. And if you want to check out some Van Shee, type in Kelly.
Yeah.
And Van Shee.
And you'll be singing along to it before you've even heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a drag.
Yeah.
I was at their album launch at Elsewhere for that
Yeah,
album.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
insane.
Yeah, that's a throwback, eh?
That's rad.
Yeah,
That's a story.
Yeah, for my mate Mitch, it was his 18th. He turned 18.
Wow.
The day before. And
That's a good one.
yeah.
That's like, did you get to see Tame Impala when they played it elsewhere?
No.
Neither.
No.
And, but like all my friends, lots of my friends did.
Yeah,
So
I got to see Steve Aoki before he was anyone.
Oh, when he did that, when he jumped over
and the glass shattered.
Yeah. I remember Stretch telling me about that, and he's like, "Do you know how much that cost to replace?"
I just remember, and that was before social media, so there wasn't any cool
Nah, there's one photo.
Yeah.
From that night.
Yeah.
And they plastered it a little bit recently. Remember that time? And
Yeah.
it's a shocking.
Yeah.
What was it? 2009,
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
When it would have been shot on like a 5-megapixel Canon.
Tickets were like $15.
Yeah.
Like
it was before the birthday cake thing.
Yeah,
right?
before all that, when he was just riding his Dim Mac wave.
Yeah.
When Warp was just released.
Yeah.
I remember he played like a 12-minute version of Warp, and everyone was in.
It kept going.
Yeah.
And then come down. Then he goes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, the Van Shee Tech, and so I got to see Van Shee, and then Van Shee Tech played after Van Shee as like the DJ set.
Yeah.
Oh man.
With Mikey, with Touch Sensitive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But it was.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's rad.
That's such a throwback.
Yeah, that's so sick. Yeah, so Nicky Nighttime did a mix for them. That's what if we were to go to the car now and just click off where we were. Yeah, there's lots of good tracks in that mixtape. He didn't just, I think the thing that you find when DJs do mixtapes, they feel like they've got to put the latest songs into the mixtape.
Yeah.
Obviously he does a lot of self-plugging in this particual mixtape.
Yeah, because he's kind of just gone down that disco route.
Yeah. And very indie dance, and he's got his new label now. But he's not afraid to just throw that classic.
That throwback in.
Yeah, I think the mix closes with Heartbeat by Robin.
Oh, really?
You know that track?
Yeah.
It's
That's
sad.
wild. It's sad.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's over. An hour and a half of my life.
Now, talking about your artist, Sam, obviously you said he sent you a demo, did he, to be written up? Or
No, he works, he's with a PR team that serviced him to us.
Yeah.
And so from AAA Backstage, we just threw him press.
Yeah, nice.
It's just one of those ones, like I get serviced 150 press releases.
So that's what I'm going to be going to right now.
Right, yeah.
How do you dive into all that, all those inboxes, all those messages, all those people saying this is it, this is the next fresh,
everyone does.
So fresh hits of 2020.
Wow. Okay. You can email me.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you my email address.
But if you find it.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
You can search around. You will find it.
Yeah.
Like we have relationships.
Super hot surfer dude 69.
Yeah. At Hotmail. For AAA Backstage, in terms of it being a music news website, we have relationships with PR teams, record labels, who kind of know that we'll give them instant press. Then there's ones that we do work with.
To be there.
They've worked to be there. Yeah, we've built that relationship.
Yeah.
Lots of big sound after parties.
Yeah.
Like Chris. So they're sort of like an instant in.
Yeah.
So we churn the website churns out anywhere up to 6 articles a day.
Yeah.
And so those ones you can tell come from that.
Yeah.
The guys who get in early enough, if I get time, so I try and spend Wednesdays just going through that horrible email.
Yeah.
And sometimes you find some winners, and then so that that Sam dude I was talking about,
Yeah.
it came from someone who we're in a relationship.
Yes.
We have a relationship,
Yeah.
a working relationship with. So yeah, that's how we curate the content.
Yeah.
We have some submission portals
Yes.
that you can get to us with.
Yeah.
Which we're obliged to provide you feedback
Yeah.
with, which is a good way if you don't have a publicist or if you don't have a record label. I suggest to use that.
Yeah,
to
100%.
get anyone's attention. You can get anyone's attention using those submission portals. So that's how you can make your way.
No, 'cause I think it's important to kind of like you were at the Spotify thing we went to. Hey, that the other agency put on.
Yeah. With Mike.
Yeah, with Mike. Yeah.
Warner.
Yeah.
I
So
was definitely
even like I think he said Wednesday as well. Like it's just the amount of inboxes he gets.
Yeah, it's horror. It's anxiety, man. And then Fridays, which is Tuesdays and Fridays, which is traditionally New Music Day.
Yeah.
Fridays suck.
Yeah.
Like, it's just 9 a.m. Just watch it fill up.
Yeah.
You're like,
Which is wild.
Yeah, it is literally an anxiety attack. Yeah.
And don't think, guys, if you send stuff in that doesn't get listened to, it doesn't mean it's not a good song.
No.
You know?
No, definitely not. We try and listen to. We can't listen to 100%, which is sad.
But also realistic.
Yeah, but if you do a kind enough follow up,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, last week I pitched this to you.
Yeah.
Just, did you get a chance to listen to it?
If you didn't, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like-
Just love to get all the publicists.
Just love to get
love to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that too, because I'm a publicist as well.
Yeah.
So when I have content for our artists that we're sending out, again, I've built relationships. So it's all about getting to those nights and meeting those people and networking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you get in
That's
there.
that's how you do it, guys.
Yeah.
It's not so much about the
Because you're always going to ask that question.
Yeah.
How did that guy, how did that kind of music or whatever, get on there? Because they've worked that relationship first,
Yeah. 100%. Don't get me wrong, there's 1 in a million that you might hear and be like, this is the fire.
Yeah. 100, always. Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about relationships and
Just building that relationship.
and also just being a good person a lot of the time.
Being a good person, humbleness and not getting, it's interesting sometimes you get, people that are like, I've sent you several emails, why haven't you answered them? You're like, you just went.
Yeah. Guess who just made my junk box? Now, obviously a lot of music you listen to, like we've spoken about. If there was one song the rest of your life that you had to listen to.
I couldn't think of anything worse, no matter how much I love
Yeah, well, that's
song.
what I mean. It's more of a, could be a punishment. Could be like an FBI
It'd probably be All My Friends by LCD Sound System.
Yeah.
Just that piano roll goes forever anyway.
Yeah.
Mate,
100%. That was a lot easier to
yeah.
answer than you thought.
I did think about it when I got the brief last week.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess that would be it.
Yeah.
Because it's nice and not annoying. You
Yeah.
know, you like some of those songs, like what with Warp.
Yeah.
Like that song's rad.
But you can't listen to it twice.
I'm not listening to that again.
Yeah.
No,
100%.
definitely not the next day with a hangover and you got a headache. You're like, oh, can we listen to something?
Let's relive the moment.
Yeah, nah.
Now, let's go through 2 or 3 your different hats. Okay, so in about a year, where do you want your brand as AAA to be? What do you want to push for that?
Earning more money.
Yeah. Like people got to understand blogging. It's a hard slog. Like,
such a hard slog. I mean, we're above the beast of just sort of late night bedroom writing about music now.
Yeah.
We have advertisers, we have media partners, all that type of stuff.
And you're busting out 6 articles a day.
Yeah,
that's a lot of content.
Up to.
Well, okay, up to, but still, even 1 a day is
tough.
Yeah.
I've got friends that run similar things out of Sydney, and they're like, "Oh no, 1 a day is fine for us."
Yeah.
They got other things that they're handling, but I'm blessed to have other people writing.
Yeah.
So we can churn out that much.
Yeah.
But for the brand to continue to grow an audience, we have a big audience now.
Yeah.
Which is great. And our audience is wide.
Yes.
So it's
not just one genre, not one demographic.
Yeah. So we did think about a couple of years ago when we first purchased AAA Back. So we bought AAA Backstage off another media company.
Okay. Well, it is quite a solid nat. Like,
yeah.
that's a...
Yeah. I think, yeah, the domain itself is worth...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid. But we did have an idea to send it into a more of an, like, genre-based...
Like a niche?
Niche, yeah. And then we're like, no, we'll just keep it cool.
Yeah.
You know, just don't write about mainstream media.
Yeah.
The odd mainstream, I guess as mainstream as we would go is, like, Tame Impala.
Yeah.
Pond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The rest of it is we try and maintain a developing cultural balance.
Yeah.
So most of the artists we write about are still in that development. Well, most of the music we write about is still coming from artists that are in their development end of their career.
Yeah. Which is important in the Australian music.
Yeah. So of that balance of let's say we pump out 6 articles in one day, 2 would be from like near mainstream or fully developed artists that are getting mainstream radio play, and the other 4 are going to be about
on the up.
Yeah, on the up, exactly. Yeah. So to continue to grow that, continue to grow the audience, and
monetize,
monetize more.
Yeah.
And yeah, we used to have this big thing where we'd want to throw parties at venues, and we want to have our brand all over it. I've stripped that back.
Okay.
You know? So we want to be more of the presenting partner in the
Yes.
background. You know what I mean? So
hard. Like Good Friends presented by...
Yeah, just have us in the bottom corner.
Just low key.
Yeah, just low key.
Yeah.
I guess just so we can still be a part of it and still do those stuff. We're going to be doing more events again if we can next year.
You want to support the event runners, not have to be logistic for the one.
Doing everything.
Yeah, nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. And then just continue to present in PR the way we do.
Yeah.
It's working.
And just contribute to kind of the music scene in general. Really.
Yeah.
Which is important.
Still get invited to all of the Sydney parties.
Yeah.
That we can't go to anymore. And I just want them to bring Big Sound back.
Yeah.
Man. That was the vibe. That was our Christmas every year. It was such a good time. We were having a laugh about that the other night. You know, everyone gets into town from other cities or overseas. Yeah. And everyone gets excited, get into your hotel room like you're on school camp or something. You know, and you start texting your mates like, "Are you here? Yeah, they haven't landed yet. Oh, they get here at 5.
Yeah.
Oh, great." So in terms of the brand, in terms of me,
in terms of Diskodisco,
I've got some original releases that I'll be doing again next year, and the mixtape series, which is great. It's starting to build that audience.
What episode up to? Like what?
3.
Yeah.
So 1 per month.
Yeah.
So January will be number 4.
Yeah.
I'm playing a show. I'm doing the main support on the tour for Sneaky Sound System.
Ooh, that's exciting. At 19 at the Star, sold out in about...
the Marquetta Laneway party is the big one where we sold 700 tickets in
not many
48 hours.
Not much,
Not many. I mean, it could be more. But
That'll be a vibe. What day's that on?
That's on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Do you know the date?
Yeah, 17th of Jan.
Oh, naughty.
Yeah, so that side of things is good. And I've got some really cool...
Hold on, sorry. If anyone that hasn't seen Sneaky Sound System live, do it.
Oh, you have to.
It is.
Yeah. It's so funny. I was talking to someone the other day and I was talking to a friend of mine and he's like 21, 22. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, I love Sneaky." I was like, do you know them? And he's like, yeah. You know, like...
I always come in with like, do you know UFO was filmed in Elsewhere?
Elsewhere, yeah, that's right. And at the that dodgy Miami Shore motel. Yeah.
And even, I still play the Side Only remix of Pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, just...
that was great. There was another one I found the other day, actually. Oh, who was it? Not remix.
It could have been a Van Sheetek remix as well.
It was a Van Sheetek remix of...
Not UFO, not Pictures. So I remember there was one on a Ministry CD.
Yeah.
On a Clubber's Guide or one of those ones.
Damn, there was one I came across the other day and I was like, whoa, that's right. Forgot about this.
Yeah. Man, you stumped me.
That was... Yeah, damn it. Anyway, keep moving.
Yeah.
But, and then there's some other creative projects that are gonna be good and big that we're jumping into next year.
Sick.
which I'd really love to mention right now.
Yeah, but you know the deal, guys, on this show.
Yeah.
You can't.
You can't. Which are that's gonna be a good one. Yeah. Which will come out. I mean, yeah, maybe if we're back in 6 months, we'll be talking about that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe next year, because I'm going to obviously have breaks between the seasons. I'm thinking about maybe doing something maybe every 2 weeks where I just do let everyone know what's going on, you know, like a little cheeky gig guide.
Little gig guide, I think, could be great for you. Yeah. Because you're so well invested in the scene. Yeah. You know what's happening.
Yeah, I think it'd be just a cool little, you know, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah. Just like a little, this where you got to be.
Boom, yeah.
Here's your Ticketmaster link.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
You got the audience.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then obviously got your releases coming out, things like that, mixtape series.
Yeah, and lots of DJ sets booked.
Yeah.
Which is good. So they'll roll out over time.
Yep.
And then we've got campaigns. So if the world stays COVID, our world stays COVID free, there'll be tours to support the single releases and stuff like that.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We've got some good years, a good year, I should say, ahead of us.
Yeah.
Which is, it's gonna be a vibe.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good.
It's gonna be a vibe.
Yeah.
Now, if you could sit down with 3 artists and absorb any information, not even artists, people, people in the history, and to change the question again, Jessie that was on last week even picked like the era. So she was like, I want to hang out with Eddie Murphy when he did Delirious, not Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah, that's rad.
So,
okay.
who were the...
Yeah, okay. I really struggled with this one.
Yeah.
So James Murphy from LCD Sound System. Let's Go era. Sounds of Silver era.
Yeah.
So it's the second record.
Yeah.
They were peaking.
So was that wasn't Daft Punk's Playing at My House, not that one?
No, it was the following one.
Yeah.
We've got Get Innocuous, you know, you know.
Yeah.
So they were really on that vibe. Like they were headlining festivals and like.
Yeah.
James Murphy was such a thinker. He was the guy didn't make it until he was 35.
Yeah.
You know, like he started LCD Sound System when he was 35.
Yeah, that's wild, hey.
Finished when he was 50. You know, first gig they played in London to 1,000 people. So they were kind of like this instant famous type of thing. But he was always you watch his interviews and stuff, and he's looks at himself as like I was really scared, and the reason it took me so long to kick off, because I was just so scared, and I just feared because the way he puts it is like because I was such a critical hipster, he thought that's how people thought about him.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, hard.
You know, so his big vibe, where his claim to fame is that he used to play, you know, he was DJing nightclubs around New York in the late 90s, and he'd play like, you know, Smith's track, and then he'd mix that into like a Daft Punk track.
Yeah.
You know, so there was this, you know, and then once he started realizing that other people were doing that, he was really offended by it, and then that's what led to Losing My Edge, the single, because he was losing his edge. And I was like, all these kids are doing better than me now.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely if I could sit down and just have it out with him, that'd be rad.
Yeah.
That'd be a goal. I've met people indirectly associated with him throughout my career, which has been great.
Yeah.
I sat down with Raina Rusum last year at Mardi Gras in Sydney.
Yeah.
She built the synths in LCD Sound System, and she was the main synth organizer. Yeah, it's like all those modular synthesizers. Yeah, and she was DJing at this nightclub that I was at. So I was just like, no way.
For anyone that like, just think of your biggest clusterfuck of chords that have been tangled up ever in your life.
Yeah, and just...
and you're organising them.
Yeah, and somehow she makes it sound sick.
Yeah.
So I met her, and then it was really bad because I had to come across as like, hi, how are you? And we're having a drink together, like by ourselves in this nightclub in Sydney. And it was just us two in this corner, and I'm chatting away, and she's talking in a cool Brooklyn accent. Yeah. And then I don't know how long it took before I was like, what's James up to now? Where's he at?
Yeah. What's his deal?
Yeah. You know, and she's like, and you could see it was like, I knew that would probably happen. Yeah. Yeah, and she's like, he's just got his restaurant in Brooklyn now and just drinks wine. I was like, sick. Yeah. Tell him I said g'day.
That's so good.
Yeah. I'm going now.
Yeah.
I got out of you what I needed. No, we chatted for ages.
Yeah, that's sick.
But another person, totally not even music related, slightly music related. Be Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Okay.
He's a famous neo-expressionism artist from New York. And he's in the 27 club. Yeah, it's 27 club.
Yeah.
So he's dead at 27.
Yeah.
He just like totally created a culture.
Yeah.
He got picked up by Andy Warhol.
Oh, wow.
He was like a total like
when he was pretty obviously
early
young,
in his
but
career,
younger than 27.
Yeah, like early 20s.
Wow, yeah.
Was like a bit of a hobo.
Yeah.
Had no money. Worked his way right up to selling his pieces for, in like the mid 80s, he was selling them for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a
Which
pop.
is crazy money.
Yeah.
But also
crazy money. Yeah. He has one of the most expensive pieces ever sold, $110 million
Far out.
for one of his pieces. But the dude, you watch his documentary. I've watched his bios, his documentaries. I've read books about him. And the dude was just rad.
Yeah.
Like he just didn't care.
Yeah.
And he had this graffiti gang that he was in.
Yeah.
That he started off called Samo.
Okay.
And they would just tag around, and they somehow became, not somehow, there is a story, but they became famous. Then they were at these cool parties, and what was the lead singer of Blondie? What was her name?
This is terrible.
I've totally Debbie Harry. Deborah Harry.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
So she was that scene, and they were all hanging around and they were all doing heroin together and in his, if you read his bio, his girlfriend at the time, when they lived together, he didn't know how to control money because he came from such a poor upbringing. Yeah. So he just had wads of cash, and she's like, you'd open books off the bookshelf and there'd be cash in there, and like
just weird.
Just didn't know what to do with it. But such an eccentric and like a mad artist, like a mad painter. So yeah, if I could ever have time with him, that'd be sick. Yeah. I'd probably just fanboy it. Yeah. Just sit there and sweat. The dude was super cool. He had like weird hair and like
just before his time.
Yeah. Another dude, I guess, in a cultural sense, I really like Cody Ko. Do you know Cody Ko?
No.
He's just like this comedian from the USA.
Yeah.
He's like a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I just love to hang out with that dude.
Just a fun guy.
Yeah, he's such a lord, man. Yeah. He's so funny. Yeah, I'd like to hang out with him. He's got this series on YouTube called That's Cringe. Okay. Where he just picks out
cringe things.
Really cringy things. Yeah. Yeah, you would love it.
Yeah. I have to suss it out.
But like also from a business sense, because the guy went from doing that, kind of like similar to here, where it's like a hobby. I just love doing this. Yeah. And now, he's like 5-6 million subscribers. Yeah. Does stand-up shows and, it was a really smart businessman. Yeah. The way he did that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I love that.
Just love to pick his mind.
Yeah, pick his brain. Like, how did you do that?
Yeah,
and,
nice.
I watched him on sort of podcasts and stuff. And yeah, he talks about, he's like, I just emailed people and asked them, They said no. Oh, well, we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, hard.
Eventually, just people started saying yes to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're the three.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Very nice. I like that, mate, because I like you put a bit of context to them.
Yeah.
It's good. It's important.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any advice for any upcoming artists, people wanting to get into the industry,
Yeah. Yeah. I guess building a brand is just as important as building your product.
Yeah.
But your product will always do the talking if it's good enough. Do you know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah.
Because if you build your brand too high and your product isn't as equally,
that's
you're gonna get caught out.
Your product will talk through that noise. You know what I mean? But if you're a band or you're an artist and you're releasing music, and a lot of people, they come to us and they're like, "Oh, hi, we're about to release this song. We need a publicist or an artist manager." And it's like, "Whoa, just chill for a sec. Like, do it yourself first."
Yeah.
So then you know what you're paying people like us to do. You know what you're,
Yeah, you're not going, we could have done that.
Yeah, exactly. We just paid,
Yeah, X amount.
What do you mean? Yeah. So definitely learn everything first and just investigate, study, what we were talking about before. Go network at events.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know,
And don't start with, I'm shit shirt disco.
Yeah.
Or I'm disco disco.
Yeah. Get to know them without that. Get to know those people without that and go, oh, hey, by the way,
Yeah.
I'm doing this at the moment. You
Yeah.
know, would you mind if I sent you these things?
Yes.
Sure. More than interested in hearing it.
Yeah.
I can give you tips or give you advice, or if I really like it, hey, you're working with us now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You're actually my property because we met.
Yeah. So here's the contract. Definitely. And stick with it, but be patient.
Yes.
Yeah. Like a lot of you see a lot of kids. I'm guilty of it. You're probably guilty of it. You're just like, I'm ready to go now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Just chill. It'll happen. You know.
Yeah.
Just take your time.
Well, that's one thing like Mike Warner said from Spotify.
Yeah.
When people are like, I want to release a song next week.
Yeah.
What do I do? And
Yeah.
he's like, next week?
Yeah, no, you don't.
3 months? 4
Yeah.
months? Like...
We've got records that they're not going to be released for 6 months.
Yeah.
We know they're there and the product's building. It's about building the branding around it first and then slowly, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? So a lot of things we do, you know, which works with what like Mike Warner said, build a playlist first.
Yeah.
Get all those other people that are on that playlist, get their attention, get your fan base listening to your playlist.
Yeah.
Right? Then you've got followers.
And
then you release your original.
Yeah.
And then they're already listening to your playlist.
Yeah.
You throw your original into that playlist. Things like that always work.
Yeah.
And send out your press in a nice manner.
Yeah.
Follow up politely.
Yeah.
There's heaps of people that want to hear from you. So yeah.
Yeah. Just lots of etiquette.
Yeah.
Just be
nice.
Just be nice.
Yeah.
Now, I know you said you've got a lot of upcoming stuff. You know, is there anything you kind of give the people for what's coming up in the new year, or are you pretty tight-lipped?
Yeah, no, it is pretty tight-lipped because it's.
We'll just check the website.
There's contracts that haven't been signed yet.
Just check the website, guys.
But you know, there's it is cool, and it'll be everywhere. Everyone know about it.
Definitely. Now, where can they catch you? What are all your handles?
My handles are Diskodisco. If you Google that with a K first, Disco, Disco, it'll come up everywhere. Instagram or even Twitter. And FB if anyone still uses that. And SoundCloud is where you'll find all of our content. AAAbackstage.com. You can't get that handle wrong. That's
with 3 A's.
Yeah, with 3 A's. Yeah,
not triple.
Not like not the word triple. AAAbackstage.com. And where you can find your new favorite band or artist.
Yes. From today and tomorrow.
Yeah. Yesterday, now. What would we be up to? Remember commercial radio back in the day? It was like, for me, it was always 70s, 80s, and today.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, what would it be?
Oh, man, it's probably...
The 90s, noughties.
80s, 90s, thousands.
And noughties.
Yeah.
And today.
Yeah, exactly. That's a new tagline. It's real catchy too.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. Well, thank you heaps for coming on the show today.
Yeah, thanks.
It's been a pleasure. I've definitely learned more stuff about you than I knew, which is sick. Cause
that's why we're here. That's why you do this, right?
Yeah, 100%, bro. Yeah. But also, it's been good to hear the context behind
the
story, and I can see just through this conversation how passionate you are. It's not just a...
Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate being here. Like I said, I've watched a few of your episodes. I think this is a cool concept.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. Now, for those watching, Merry Christmas in 2 or 3 days. Is there anyone you want to thank for everything you've done so far?
Throughout my career?
Yeah, mate.
Thank you to my friends and family. Big thank you to my business partner and brother, Brett Selwood.
Yeah.
And one of my, everyone, they know who they are. But yeah, definitely him in particular.
Yeah, him in particular.
We hustle together. And,
Mate, you need that.
Yeah. And I guess Jake Wilton, who was one of our original partners.
Yeah.
He's now gone off to do some of his other his projects, which are working really well for him. So that's really cool.
No, sick.
He was there in the beginning. So.
Lovely. Well, once again, my dude, thank you for coming on. Make sure you check out his stuff. Stay tuned. Suss out those Sneaky Sound System tickets because that will be a vibe.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Miami Marquetta, 17th of January.
Yeah.
I'm also DJing at an event called this is bad. It's called Sand something festival in March.
Yeah. On the coast?
On the coast, on the beach at Surfers Paradise, on a big festival. There's a festival there.
Yeah, right.
Man, that's really embarrassing. Sand something.
It's
on my website.
Coming to a beach near you.
Yes. Jesse's playing at it. I think Corey's playing at it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so yeah.
She'll be a vibe, guys.
Yeah.
Well, once again, thanks for tuning in. Have a Merry Christmas. And we'll see you for season 4. I'm not sure when I'm going to kick that off. I've got some other stuff going on. Work on some music, do some of me. And have a great Chrissy, guys. See yous.
Bye.